With a new Mortal Kombat game in the stores, Jazwares has announced a new Mortal Kombat toy line. And now we've got Wave 1 of the 6-inch figures, featuring Scorpion, Raiden, and Sub-Zero. First, taking a look at the packaging, you can see that they come on a blister card with the huge Mortal Kombat medallion in the background. It looks very nice. The characters fit snugly inside the bubble. Not a lot of movement, but it helps you to get a good look at all the detail. It does have over 15 points of articulation, but you must be 17 to buy it, so beat it, kid. Now on the back you get a biography and you get some character artwork from the video game. Overall, I have to say I like the inclusion of the video game character artwork because it helps you to remember that this is a video game license. The figures are very posable with their 15 points of articulation, and you can see that there's a good amount of detail on these figures. They actually look pretty nice. His hand, and overall he balances very well. There is one problem with these figures though, they have no peg holes in their feet, so you're not going to be able to pose them in any sort of crazy super wacky pose, but you can see they put a lot of time and effort into some of the fine detailing here. There's lots of little things that make it stand out. Overall, he is a nice figure. And then of course we have the sworn enemy to Sub-Zero's clan, Scorpion. Scorpion comes in the same packaging here, held in place with the same blister. And on the back of his card we again have the video game artwork alongside his biography. Now this character, again, really well sculpted, very nice to look at. One issue though is that if you look at his shoulder pads, they're very big and they stick out over the shoulder joints. For the most part, it's not really a problem, but there are a few times when you will want to move his arms up and down and you can't do it. On the back, he does have two swords that you can see are held in place by this little sword holder. Has these little pegs that stick out when you take the swords out. Not that big of a deal, but a little wonky. Overall though, I have to say I really like the fine attention to detail. Again, you can see that they actually sculpted a lot of this stuff on very high detail, and it looks really nice. Now there was one issue. His hands, when I opened them out of the package, were actually glued together. I had to break apart the thumb and fingers. It made it very difficult to get the swords in and out. And in fact, the hand actually came off as I was trying to remove the swords. Now it is loose plastic. You do have the ability to bend it and put it back into place on top of the pegs, but it just seemed like one of those quality control issues. Why do I have to break apart the hand in order to use it? And then why does it pop right off when I'm trying to get the sword out? Maybe just a little bit more time should have been spent trying to make sure the sculpt was just right and the pieces were just right coming out of the molds. But still, overall, a fun toy, and I'm glad I have it. And finally, we have Raiden. As you can see, Raiden comes in the same package again with that giant Mortal Kombat medallion in the background, held in place by his blister, and, as you've come to expect, on the back, more video game artwork and a bio. Again, the sculpt looks really nice, and the hat is even removable. So, if you want him without his hat on, fine, there you go. The hat even has a fine amount of detail work on it too. So overall, that's really nice. Although there is this little dash of gold paint underneath. Not sure if that's a production error or if he's got a little ponytail there. Whatever. He still is fully posable, just like the other ones, and he balances actually pretty well, better than Scorpion does. You can see again, he's got little pieces that hang out over his shoulders that'll, again, get in the way when you're trying to move his hands up over his head. And for some reason, right at the joint in his midsection, the blue color changes from his top torso to his midsection. Also, the medallion on his chest isn't actually sculpted on, it's just a sticker on top of a raised circle. It's not that big of a deal, it's not like a deal breaker or anything, but still, you kind of wonder about some of the other small details that they took care to actually carve and paint and sculpt, and for some reason on this they just put a sticker. He overall has a nice look, and again fits well with the rest of the 6-inch Mortal Kombat line. Now, even though they don't have holes in the bottom of their feet to stand on character stands, you can still usually find the right balance to make them stand up in some pretty good poses, as long as you get the feet far enough apart. However, if you want them perhaps falling backwards from being, or maybe leaning them up against the back of your photo tent, that seems to work pretty well. But again, overall, I didn't really expect to get into the 6-inch line of figures. I was looking forward more to the 3 3/4 inch. But after seeing these figures, it looks like I'm going to be grabbing these two. I'm pretty happy with the way they turned out. Even some small production issues aside, I'm still feeling the wave of love for Mortal Kombat.
You dirty, rotten red bastard!